is a higher state of consciousness. This is the Unicus Report.
Okay. I'm not sure if we're streaming or not, ladies and gentlemen.
Now,
We are.
here is your host,
Welcome
world-renowned author and researcher,
I am your Jedi journalist, Robert Stanley, broadcasting live from sunny Southern California on the greatest alternative talk radio station on the planet, the Global Enlightenment Radio Network. Always a privilege and a pleasure to be with you. Again, I'm not sure if we're actually streaming or not because our producer seems to have vanished into thin air. Just hopefully he didn't get abducted by the Anunnaki.
We're the Anunnaki!
Okay, so this is kind of weird. I don't know what happened to Daryl. It's kind of difficult to do the show.
I'm
not
here.
Sure. Oh, you're there. Are we
Yeah,
streaming?
Gary's just bleeping and must. You can hear Gary, can't you? Bloop, bloop.
Yeah, but I couldn't hear you. Oh, anyway. All right. So let me
Okay.
introduce our guest, Gary LEGGIERE, a.k.a. the Mars Revealer. He's also known as the infamous Mad Martian. He's been an independent Mars researcher since 1998. He's an image processor and image analyst of various Mars missions imagery, and he is obsessed with studying Mars surface intently. His friends call him Mars. That's a cool name. You can too. Gary is well known amongst independent Mars researchers and even some mainstream Mars researchers for his work in finding really interesting things, which Gary calls interesting archaeological features, naturally. He has garnered respect from many people involved in this field of research. Gary used to be closely knit to Richard Hoagland and was an honorary member of the Enterprise mission when it used to be considered a serious platform for truth. Gary went his own way when he was encouraged by Hoagland to investigate a video called UFO Diaries Cydonia, a video which Hoagland is in more than 1/3 of, and that also has old yet new image data of what appears to be Viking orbiter images showing other faces of Mars that the public has never seen before. Those amazing images are what directly linked Hoagland when Gary interviewed the producers of the video, who both claimed Hoagland provided the images to them. Once that happened, Hoagland set Gary up to destroy his work in his life. Gary has found many interesting features of Mars, of which some of these finds he would like us to see and consider today on this show, if you're watching on the video stream. Gary is also the host of the Martian Revelation Show. It airs Saturday nights, and to Gary, Mars is his destiny as well as his fate. He believes we all deserve to see and to know the truths of what is on and under the surface of Mars. Gary also firmly believes that we, the people, deserve to see and to know the truths of what we're all not being told right now or shown about the reality of life outside of Earth boundaries. Gary, welcome to the program.
Thanks a lot, Robert. I appreciate it being on last minute and all, but hey, that's all. Sometimes positive things could fly that way, right? But great to be on. Thanks for inviting.
My pleasure. Okay, I didn't get to see this particular video. You and I were talking off the air about UFO Diary Cydonia.
Yes, sir.
Is that what we're looking at? Some of the stills that you have posted up here on Skype, and hopefully Daryl can share them.
I'll be sharing the video screen. I don't know if people see the screen now. I am sharing it, Daryl.
They are seeing it.
Okay.
And you should see the face of Cydonia there.
Yes. Is that one of the new pictures or the old ones?
That's from the early 2000s from Mars Express.
Okay.
Higher resolution than Viking and Mars Odyssey, but lower resolution than Global Surveyor and, of course, MRO. But for comparative analysis, all these missions, when they take images of the face, it's great for comparative analysis, no matter what resolution it's at.
Right.
And they all have value. Let's put it this way. But Mars Express, ESA, European Space Agency's mission, to me, it reveals the tattoo as it was. If you look at that image closely, you could tell that looks a lot unlike the Viking image, or even what Mars Odyssey image will show of its relief. A lot of it looks softened, tries to make it look either eroded or just softened up. That's you can't really see things with the eye that you can with Mars Express. And all those nook and crannies that you're seeing is all actual relief. It's not image artifacts or anything like that.
Right.
But I will show examples of some of these other images from Viking and Mars Odyssey, if you just bear with me here.
Okay.
And which is very important because in 1976.
Yeah, that's the classic shot.
Right, that's the classic one from Viking Orbiter, 1976, of which is a larger picture, but I just took out the face from the larger picture.
Yeah, I understand.
Of 35A72.
Yeah, that's a very low resolution picture. I mean, I get the general features and and how that really does look artificial, like some guy wearing a helmet, but it's low resolution compared to the first image you showed us.
Right. So, but it still looks like a face.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, and this next one, hopefully, that's the second image that NASA had claimed supposedly was filmed a few hours after the 35A72, but they said that there was nothing there. It disappeared, but they lied about that because a couple months later, this image was taken, 7813. Again, this is about from the 7813, which clearly shows the face is still there, and we got to actually see more detail. Right? Now, this next one is from Mars Odyssey. Again, a low resolution image.
Wow.
It shows us more clarifying detail because it's better res than the Viking.
Yeah, I've never seen that before.
It is incredible. Now, of course, I processed this image from the raw because the way they give it out, it looks worse than the Viking, you know, where you see it all lighted and darkened. That's all white. You can't see the details. So when you process the raw image yourself, you could bring out this data. And which makes you wonder why aren't they processing them right to bring out the details? But at least they could be brought out, albeit by the public. Now here's another Odyssey image, which is pretty good. Okay, again, higher resolution than the Viking, more detailed, more detailed than the other one of Odyssey, but it helps bring out some more details. Now, again, compared to Mars Express there, but in how many years ago? I don't know, early 2000s or around 2012, MRO, the Mars Reconnaissance Orbiter context image gave us this. Now, mind you, NASA does not release the image like this.
No.
Okay, again, it's all over contrasted where it's over whitened or over darkened, so it obscures the relief.
Wow.
Now, when I bring out that relief, holy crap. You see what I mean, Robert? And it totally changes the perception that it's a natural feature. For years, they love to call it officially a mountain, a massive, a hill, a butte. They have no idea what it is, but yet they always officially call it the face of Mars. Now, if you're patient with me a moment,
go ahead.
I will close that. I want to show you how NASA releases the image. Bear with me. I got to drag this up.
Go ahead.
Oh, it sounds like it's going to dump down. All right. Oh, let me go up. All right. Again, that's that image. And that's on the facesofmars.com, my main show page.
Yeah.
And you can click on that to bring right here on the show page to bring up a full-size image view. But here is how NASA releases it.
Oh,
I mean, come on, talk about total obfuscation.
Yeah.
I mean, that's how they release it. Of course, you could click on this image too, and it'll bring you right to the context image page where it's from. And look, so that way you can see I'm not BSing.
Right.
All right. Boom. That's how they release it to us. And again, look at all the details, as much that there is. All you got to do again is look back and see, whoa, how come it takes me, someone in the public, to process the image, which that camera that took it, the high rise, and the context imager is supposed to be the people's camera. Why aren't there a bunch of data quality acts? Why is it that I'm bringing out the details that they're not? Okay, to me, it still looks like a face, even though what they give out, because I know the face well, very well, even better than Hoagland. But look at those details. Hoagland certainly never processed these images to bring out those details. In fact, he doesn't even speak about. We're jumping ahead. I don't want this all to be about him at the moment, but believe me,
Gary, the thing that sticks out for me too is just the overall structure. It looks so symmetrical.
Mm-hmm.
It's not, to me, that is, it's a little too precise. The geometry of this, the totality of whatever we're looking at, it looks like, it really does look like something that was constructed as opposed to nature. Yeah.
And another beauty about this, that came out fast, is that even though that's the key word, geometry, because people say, "Oh, don't look like a face. Where's the face? You don't see the same thing on the other side because it's not meant for. It's called split art or iconography. If you're familiar with Robert, which I think you are, with the Aztecs and the Maya and their art glyphs, many of them also show hominid and feline glyphs together. But to see it, you have to split it in the middle, flip and mirror it. It's not just a shark test, people. And it would decode the bigger picture. Now, the beauty of that, and I'll show you here. Let me bring this back down.
So is thefaceofmars.com, is that your website?
Thefaceofmars.com.
Faces of Mars. Okay.
And let me see. I got it right here. Image. I want to show you what I mean. Boom. Okay. You see that, right?
Mm-hmm.
All right. That's an upright view. Now, mind you, everyone, from top to bottom is 1.5 miles long. All right. I don't mean top of the image or the bottom of the image. I mean of the main face feature itself.
Yeah.
It's 1.5 miles long, 1 mile wide by 1,500 feet high.
Wow.
Now, so what do I mean about the split art iconography? Well, look.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Looks like a King Kong, Cornelius type pharaonic figure. Interesting.
And there's another one looks like a lion face.
Boom. Now, mind you, both sides. Whoa. We get to see something that's reminiscent here on Earth for us to recognize what each side represents. A hominid type, apish, reptilian-ish, say.
That wait a minute, the other one you had there looked like Predator.
This one?
Yeah, that to me looks like the Predator with the it's got that appendage down here.
Right?
Jeez.
But it also has the forward look of a big lion's head just looking at you.
Yeah. Now, there's that.
There's more things to see, and I see where you're talking about the predator aspect. Are you talking about like right here?
Yeah, exactly.
Treads?
Yeah.
All right. So there's more things to see, but the dominant theme of likeness is a lion. Eye, big nose. The more the whiskers of the lion, his mane as it was, compared to here, again, it looks like King Kong, saurian, pharaonic type, but it's not human like Hoagland and others would say he is. A human face staring up at the Martian. There's nothing human about it. It's hominid.
Right.
Like Neanderthal ape man's, with all these scales, it kind of looks like also a saurian type fellow,
Yeah.
but it's something that we could reflect to back on here on Earth of what we know of beasts today. And I find that very interesting. Probably a connection, but that don't mean we went and did this at Mars or vice versa. Or maybe it's some sympathetic, what's that word? Empathetic uh, re- residents of a language is something that maybe life picks up intelligence. I don't know if that even makes sense, but I'm just saying that it doesn't prove one or the other. The still much more input needed, despite what everyone's claims are, and there are many.
Yeah.
You know, but it's rather interesting. And here's from the hit piece back in 2006 when they put this out with the ESA images that one of them we looked at earlier. They gave a color version. Everyone didn't care about the color. No one noticed it. They all focused on that bump on the head, that trauma, as it was, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And that color, when processed a little better, is very interesting because look what comes out. And it starts to look even more unnatural. Now, I do have another view of that. I would like you to see from a full-on, head-on version of what that looks like right here.
Whoa.
That changes also the perspective because the colors help the black and white because Mars ain't black and white, people.
Right.
But the black
Well,
and white
neither is the moon, Gary. The moon is not
Excuse-
black. No, the moon is not black or white and white.
Yeah, exactly. And neither is Mars. And considering the colors under the face, you know, there's a lot of material there, and it kind of helps with the tattoo to see it better, in my
Hang
opinion.
on. Let me ask you, the right side of the face, the way we're looking at it, do you think that some of that is collapsed?
No.
It's intentional.
A lot of people have said that over the years. I don't see any evidence of that at all. They're
Okay.
just carved differently from the other side. Because all those nooks and crannies in the relief is very important. And when you follow the relief, the details, it doesn't obscure from the art that's carved it. And if it was collapsed, there would be a loss of the art. You wouldn't be able to follow the lines as it was.
Okay.
Maybe a superb tattoo artist would concur with that. I see all this through the eyes of an artist.
Okay.
And I didn't come to that judgment lightly. It took, many months and years, even as the more data comes in, to support what I believe I've seen from previous years. You know what I'm saying, Robert?
Yeah.
And now we have enough data for me to conclude my conclusions about it, which still there's more questions, obviously, that we need answered. But it's really amazing of what that details, because when you see this black and white version here that you see now of the ESA and think about the colors you just saw, notice how, pun intended, more to life that scene becomes. And in my opinion, we're not looking at dirt and rock. We're looking at metal.
Whoa.
Maybe gold. It's been artistic. You see, here's the thing. Since 1998, that's what got Hoagland to come to me and find out who he was later when he invited me to his site, yada, yada, as an honorary member, took me under his wing, is that I claim that what I see as Mars is an artistically sculpted entire planetary surface. Now, that's a lot different from the Mars that we now know that we're being told it is, as being like an Earth-like planet.
Right.
But on the other hand, it's the Mars they now know, and why they steer away from these places with rovers and stuff, like as if it's the plague wants to land in craters or somewhere else out in the middle of nowhere instead of get down to the nitty gritty. Let's go to these areas. Well, why not?
Yeah. Why haven't they gone to Cydonia, Gary?
Well, because the cat would be out of the bag, pun intended.
Yeah.
No pun, depending how you look at it. And it would reveal so much in your face, pun intended. Now, how wow, it would be on the ground. Well, I'll show you all from that how it would look from a ground viewpoint. Again, let me bring this up. Sorry about this. Again, everyone, I only had a couple hours, if that, to get this going. And again, thank you, Robert.
Hey,
But
well, you're welcome. I'm glad you got your computer working again.
Oh, yeah. I had to get a different headset. I'm hearing myself double speak, so if I sound like a retard a little, it's because my voice double jump myself.
Oh, God.
But let me scroll up, because now remember that image I showed you, the one that I processed of MRO,
Mm-hmm.
and I showed you how NASA revealed it. Well, this image, I had Dr. Mark Carlotto run through his shade from shading algorithm program to bring out the features or see what it would do with my comparative way that I bring out the data, which no one else has ever shown. And I'm not just saying that with a big head. I'm saying that, with a crown, because no one else has done it. And when he puts it through a shade from shading algorithm, wow, it brings out even the best perspective views that we've seen overall of that face of Cydonia, because of the features, because it goes off of the relief of the shadows, etc., to get an accurate representation. All right. So look what we got here. That one. Hopefully you guys can see that well.
Yeah.
I will click on it bigger, because it's very important, because how would it look from the surface? It might not look like anything. Well,
Right.
it's rare. Once it loads, I threw space behind it for the extra scenery. But you can see, look at all the relief and what it shows. You can clearly see the eye, the mouth, right? And then boom, from a better angle of the side of the face. If the rover was there looking over it would see this. Once this loads up, that is.
So how did somebody create this side view? You said Mark Carlotto?
Yeah, through a shape from shading algorithm, it creates a model, and that spins around like a movie.
Okay.
And it starts from the side, moving up till it's fully looking up at you from the original image.
Okay.
So, and I want to show you some of those perspective views, because it's important, because you could really see how these features match the way that this is carved to make it look like as it does. And even here, without the color, wow, it to me, it looks too intentional. It doesn't look like a normal mountain, but that's me. They say I'm crazy, right? But we'll see how crazy. Here's another view from the chin. If you bought from the bottom of the chin side up a little, and it's fascinating, because you could get to see more of the contours. Again, once it goes, I have slow internet here, out in the middle of nowhere almost. Come on. It's very important to consider these various views. See, there's the side, the slope.
Yeah.
Going up is the eyebrow, how it comes up almost straight, goes across. There's the eye, burrowed under its brow, like a Neanderthal type of eyebrow. Here's the mouth. You can see that. There's the feline side, and look at those interesting features here. Let me go to another one. And I just want to show this as some examples. Hopefully you're all able to see this okay when they're loaded, that is.
Yeah, I'm seeing
because we got a lot of ground to gain. Damn it. Sorry. I keep hearing myself. Come on. Maybe I should have preloaded them, but oh well. So while that's doing that, we're going to be looking at this one here. All right, boom. And notice you can see the spikiness. You can see contours and where the face is, the mouth better. And also you can see the lines. This face is also a pyramid. Okay. I call them the faces of Mars, and I'm not the only one that claims that they appear to be pyramids as well. We'll be hearing from someone later, not say that, but tell us other things, the producer of UFO Diaries, and what we're going to get into. But he acknowledged himself. He's the only one that also said ever that the pyramids also appear to be, that the faces of Mars also appear to be pyramids themselves, which is fascinating.
Mm-hmm.
Now, here's another.
You know what this reminds me of too is the way they did not Stonehenge, but some of the Salisbury Hill, how they dug these huge trenches around the mounds.
Yep.
You could see that trenching effect right there in that photograph.
Indeed, and you can see that in many other features all over Cydonia, especially one that looks like Salisbury Hill called the Tholis, which I don't have available to show at the moment.
Right.
But it is fascinating because that one looks a lot like Salisbury Hill, even the spiral going up,
Yeah.
But it's pretty fascinating. Here's another view. Come on.
That's all right. We got time.
I appreciate that. Boom. So now here you can see the line more, come to the point under the mount. All you would have to do is follow the perspectives. There's a pyramid as well. And pyramids don't have to be just four-sided like we all know of and see here on Earth. They can be octagonal, pentagonal, even bizarrely shaped pyramids like the one in Bosnia. The one in Bosnia is reminiscent to me and kind of looks like in some ways the TNM pyramid, Mars. So I just wanted to show this to give you all an example of perspective views and the contours for a 3D effect. This is full with purpose. Even on this side, everything is meant to be. There's no collapses in. There's no delineation away from the art that's supposed to match up with other features that connect to other features. We would see a breakaway of all that or nothing at all and just chaos and naturalness if it was collapsed or nothing there to see at all. There's too much going on this structure as it is. Again, it has a metallic look. I believe it's been carved from above, and everything it sits on, including I call the artscapes that surround this, has also been art carved. And where features of what we see, of where we are, how they are, they give a camouflagic looks. People will say, oh, it's erosion, this and that. But when you study, it's more artistic with purpose. Now, to me, it was higher than human intelligence that made this. I don't think it was humans. But, hey, that's yet to be determined, right? Still, I got a pretty good jump on that. So, and that's it from the forehead side.
Wow. I see what you mean now. Okay, that angle, I can definitely see what you mean by a pyramid shape.
Well, it helps to see it. And once you see it all, and then you start studying the images of the face of Mars from various years, you can pick it out, and it becomes easy to see.
Do you think it's hollow inside there at all? Do you think it's hollow inside?
That's a good possibility. But was it a mountain? Was it a massif? Was it a butte? I don't know. But whatever it was, someone carved the living hell out of it.
Yeah.
That's my opinion. Rather than someone going around with blocks after blocks I don't know. Because then how they do the entire artscapes that it sits on as well. Now remember,
this does not look natural at all.
Right.
That the whole complex, when you take it from any angle now, I'm seeing it just doesn't look normal or natural.
Indeed. That's wild. It's a lot of work there.
Well, especially around the base of it. All around the base of it is way too symmetrical. I mean, it just looks, yeah. God.
Yes, very odd. And they don't want to look at that, and they don't want anything to scream of intelligence or artificial design or anything.
Yeah.
That's why a mountain, but yet they can't tell you if it's a mountain, a massif, a butte, or I mean, a hill. I mean, they have no idea what it is, but officially always call it the face of Mars.
Hey, hang on a second. Let me ask you: is there this? All right. There's something above the left eye that looks kind of like I mean, it's spiky or something. What is
Right.
that? Yeah.
That is
that something?
that is this.
Oh, I see. Oh, I
This
see. It's
feature,
part of that. Yeah.
it comes up with a point, and I always theorized that, but once Dr. Carlotto ran it through his algorithm, it proved it more to me. Now, surprised me here was that this was sunken and not also rising, because this is higher than this. But I'm not disappointed. It doesn't discount the face at all. If anything, it shows more purpose, because they carved it and had to give that impression to where it's always there. Now,
Yeah.
depending on what angles of the sun and periods of the year, of the day, or seasons, we would get to see different things come out of this face. Here's another way of explaining it. If we were above this, now this is a theory, and the rocket or whatever our capsule's looking at the face, because of how the face is carved, right? As we're moving, therefore, as we're moving, we're also moving along with the light of the land as it was. The eye would follow us. It would be watching whoever's flying by.
Wow.
Because you're looking at it from various angles of which the sun would hit it at, bringing to life, as it was,
Right.
that face looking at you.
You know that just below your pointer there, that looks to me like a stylized tear.
This?
Yes. A tear on the eye.
Possible. I know people have said that, and it's possible. Well, I won't show you that one yet, but there is another face I have found that does have the impression, which is that one right there, of a tear coming out of the eye. But we'll look at that one soon. I just want to focus on here for a moment, because you can see how it's from the rim. It comes up, then it sinks in a little. Again, it's all art carved, just like everything else. Here's that teardrop feature you're talking about.
Yeah. Oh, I see. Gary, my impression is that you enter near the top of the head. This could have been someplace that was not just art. It was like a museum, and people would go there on a pilgrimage and tour the facility. I really feel like that was the purpose, not just from looking at it from above, because it can serve multiple purposes. Obviously, as you said, it's a higher intelligence, so why not?
Exactly.
Like an archive.
Or beings, people, for the lack of a better term, could also be living in there. You can fit a lot of people, as it was, inside a 1.5 mile long, mile wide structure, 1,500 foot high. you know. And
there was a weird movie about that.
And I think that they could also come in from right around here as well.
Sure.
I mean, it might be multiple openings.
Yeah, I think there is. There's an exit and an entrance and an exit. But at one at the top, above the eye, and then another one down below the chin on the other side.
What, like right around here?
Yeah, that would be the exit, or maybe that's the entrance. Either way, it's like something that you would do a tour around it, like do 100, sort of like when you go to Mecca, you go around the thing, and you do like a sacred pilgrimage.
Yes.
Well, gosh, hey, what about this? What if it really is a giant metallic asteroid that hit Mars but didn't make a crater, and they just carved it up?
You mean Mars is a giant asteroid? Possibly.
No. I'm saying that we know there's a lot of craters on the moon and Mars, and some of the asteroids are metallic. So what's to say that that isn't the remnant of a metallic asteroid or meteorite that came and crashed into Mars without making a crater, but it was embedded in the surface? Because you're saying metal, all right? That's a huge chunk of metal. Um, Typically,
Yeah.
it doesn't happen that you get that large of a deposit of pure metal on the surface. So that's my speculation. I'm just giving you my little remote viewing senses. It could be an asteroid. We know it's very common that asteroids of that size are purely metallic, and if it could have been placed there, or it could have crashed there, and they decided to carve it up.
And Mars looks like it's been whoop-de-dooed by a lot of impacts.
Yeah.
And not all of them are asteroids or meteors.
Right.
Some of them, I believe, are weaponry. But
Yes.
that would connect to Dr. John Brandenburg's hypothesis and findings that
Mhm.
Mars was nuked about 180 million years ago.
Yeah.
In two
I read that.
spots mainly: Utopia Planitia, Mare Acidalium.
Yeah.
With
Wow.
Cydonia is in the Mare Acidalium.
Mm-hmm.
Now, all right, let me. I want to show something. Let me put this down. Boom, because there's I like to show you some other images.
You know,
of
I've never
potential
heard anybody
faces I
say,
have found.
Gary, I've never heard anybody say that they thought it was metallic, but the more I keep looking at it, at these images, it really makes me think you're right.
Well, you know what it reminds me of, Robert? You know
What?
how those pewter sculptures you could see in the malls?
Yeah. No, I know exactly what you're talking about.
Exactly. That's what it reminds me of, but on a planetary wide scale. Now, also, there's a lot of rust on Mars.
Mm-hmm.
What
Yeah.
is rust? Iron oxide.
Yeah.
And those so-called people like to say sandstorms, the sandstorms. They're not sandstorms, morons. You know what it is?
Mm.
Iron
Dust.
oxide dust storms, because they also have detected the electric charging particles in that metallic rust dust storms.
Mm-hmm.
You don't get that with dust and sand.
Right.
Sand is what? Glass, basically, silica.
Yeah.
Now, I'm not going to say there's no sand, but it's predominantly rust, iron oxide. So, well, you got metal rust, but you need water in oxidization. Well, where's the water go? Look, all I'm saying is, was Mars once Earth-like before it was whoop-de-dooed done up? Was it done up before it was whoop-de-dooed with cataclysms? I don't know, because I see many areas to where there's serious crater impacts with many of the shapes of the rims looking like pentagons or octagons. You don't get geometric shapes of craters, and that looks like has been modified or stuff set on it after the fact, which may be covering up older artscapes. So again, it's still a lot of questions, as crazy as I sound, that still have to be sought. And I'm sure it's being sought by those with the flotilla up there now.
Yeah.
They're just telling us.
Right. Well, that's what the Brookings Institute had recommended strongly to NASA when it was first getting its charter. If you recall, it said that don't alert the public when you go out with your manned and remote space exploration. They said you're probably gonna find extraterrestrials and or their artifacts, and this has the capacity to or the potential to destabilize society. That was their recommendation. Yeah.
Exactly. That's from 1958. Now, I believe it also goes older than that, Robert. In 1952, there's a movie with Peter Graves, in fact, called Red Planet Mars. Really? Now, in that is Brookings' model at that time to the worst extreme of finding out that there's intelligent life that communicates to Earth. I don't want to give the movie away, but it is seen on a YouTube video on the facesofmars.com page. As you scroll way down, people will love it. And there's a flat TV on the wall.
What?
I'll leave it at that. I don't want to give it away. There's many things. I have millions of people who have commented, and that could be a book in itself of the various comments of the various subjects and ranges of thought that covers in the Martian revelation overall to these various subjects like you just brought up. And they also said, Robert, is that they expected to find alien artifacts on the moon, Mars, and Venus.
Yeah.
Those three were specifically named. Now, in 1958, Jack Kirby, that used to, make a lot of comic books, he made this, The Face on Mars. And in it, it's part of a 3-part trilogy of a storyline of going to the moon and then onward to Mars and then after that, right? So the second comic, The Face on Mars, it's a face standing up, though, rather than looking upward. And the astronauts are climbing on it. Notice there's a purple eye and a black eye. Well, one of them crawls through the eye, falls through, and has a virtual experience of witnessing the old Martians that used to live there and a war that came there to decimate the place and the planet. Right. Now, mind you, this was, a decade before we even sent anything, what was it that went around Mars the first time? Mariner. We don't know, but it may have gotten images of Cydonia. There's rumors, but this was 1958, and this was before Sputnik, for crying out loud, of the Soviets. So how did they know? What did they know, and how long did they know it? And what were they trying to show and then hide in 1976, right? When, when we got our friend over here that was seen, and that's kind of like the model of where the science has been taking us, especially with the nuclear war, because of how do we know that? Because of the Xenon 129. You don't get that from any natural atomic explosions that may not. Holy crap. That was thunder. Right when I said that explosion, thunder, bang. Talk about synchronicity. But that must mean I'm bang on. Now, but the only thing that could do it is a supernova. Now, we know it's not a supernova because Mars wouldn't even be there, nor us here. So it wasn't that left the Xenon 129. It comes from nuclear detonations of intelligent design, and its residual aspects of the isotopes is dated pretty much to 180 million years, Dr. Brandenburg said. So what we're seeing here, people like to say, well, how old is it? Longer than maybe Earth has even been here. Maybe before the planet between Mars and Jupiter, which they like to say, some say Mars was once a moon of, blew up.
Right.
And the Anunnaki, our Earth is the top part of that planet, but neither here nor there. This all was there then, 180 million years at least. And because of this lack of water, a desert, a human looking face staring up at you from the deserts of Mars. Everyone thinking here, deserts, Giza, sand. BS, everyone. Desert means without water. Right. Therefore, that desert without water with a metallic surface everywhere can last eons.
Okay, so since you brought it up again, something while you were talking, it just triggered me. I thought I had read something about Phobos being metallic, possibly. And so I put it in the chat here, and for people who are not on, they're just listening to the audio, it says, some prominent scientists once thought that Phobos, that's the moon, one of the moons of Mars, Phobos and Deimos, may have been created by Martians. In the late 50s and early 60s, unusual orbital characteristics of Phobos led to speculations by astronomers that it might actually be hollow. Russian astrophysicist, somebody I cannot pronounce, I'm sorry, I'm not good with Russian names, suggested a thin sheet metal. Suggested a thin sheet metal structure for Phobos, and this led to even more speculation that the moon may be of artificial origin. Fred Singer, who at the time was science advisor to U.S. President Dwight D. Eisenhower, said of this Russian's theory, if the satellite is indeed spiraling inward as deduced from astronomical observation, then there is little alternative to the hypothesis that it is hollow and therefore Martian-made. Gary, if you go to the chat and look at this picture, and click on it. Look at this. If you can, share that on your screen, because you're sharing right now.
Hopefully you see it now.
Yeah, I can see that. Perfect. Thank you. I mean, you want to take that, and I'll just.
Yes. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Well, I gotta say,
you having fun, Daryl?
My God, we got Sarah, we got Marianne, we got a lot of people sitting in the Facebook chat room, and they're having a good time. And there's a lot of information there, like Mary was talking about some metallic rock she's found, and she's wondering if they were from Mars. Iron dust storms. I like it, says Sarah. Yeah, baby. Iron dust storms. Hey, Marianne, yeah. And hello, Sarah. Love to have y'all here.
Hello.
All right, so Phobos. Now, this image, you guys are still able to see it, right?
Yes.
All right, now notice this. And this has been a mystery for many ages, too.
Okay.
The striations, the lines.
Yes.
The throws, as if, oh, well, it could have been a rolling rock. How if it's a big metallic ball or something, let alone hollow or a covering? Either way, whatever it is, looks like it's been mined, scalped up, utilized maybe to help do whatever's inside if it is hollow. And I can't rule it out. Was it the Martians that put it there? Or someone else that came there? Was it the ones who nuked Mars that put it there, for all we know? I don't know. Again, many more questions come up. Crazy. So, but nothing explains for all of these striations, because if you look at here, I wish I could zoom in, damn it, but you can see that many of these are evenly spaced and even artistically patterned. So it's a mystery that I believe they know. With Russia and ESA have a planned mission to go there to take up organisms from the surface of Phobos. And they were talking about maybe down here on Mars, with our rover Perseverance forever in this cached tubes, that they should somehow jettison them up, and maybe international collaboration would pick them up as they bring their packages of organisms back to Earth. Again, totally stupid to bring it back to Earth. The Sand Kings, The Outer Limits, 2 shows ago, people on the Martian Revelation would show of the worst case scenarios why you wouldn't want to just do that. I'd rather it go back to the moon base or cislunar orbit. Cislunar orbit, rather. Cislunar, damn it. I sound like a retard again. And low Earth orbit as a secondary or even a tri-gateway before coming back to the Earth. But they're so damn offended and get so defensive and furious when you want to send something to Mars, and God forbid you have an amoeba or a microbe, but yet they're not there to actually detect life.
Right. Yeah.
What's wrong with that picture, Robert?
Quite a bit. I'm trying to get you. Have you ever read the book Mining the Sky by Dr. John Lewis?
No, but it sounds like an interesting read.
Oh, it's beyond interesting. Because when I worked for Honda Research and Development here, I'm going to put this in the chat. This was part of the report that we filed with them, the upper management. So if you click on chat there, maybe click on this picture, people can see what we're talking about there. This is something that's well known to NASA. That's not the best cover I could find, but it's you get the idea, okay? You get the idea. What they're planning at some point, can you click on that, Gary, in the chat?
I'm trying to get to the thing itself. Hold
Okay.
on.
Okay.
I have two screens here and multiple things
It's okay.
open.
It just corroborates what you're saying about whether it was constructed or was it hollowed out, so that you're mining the materials and also creating a habitat, space habitat, that if you put a motor on it, it's like you could take it anywhere and have all kinds of shielding and
Yes.
create an atmosphere inside there. And of course, you'd want something that's metallic as opposed to just igneous rock if you were going to, and I believe that's in the book, Mining the Sky.
All right, I got a Skype Skype fart going on here. I see your screen, but I can't get to the main Skype to see. It's just not even showing, so I don't want to mess with it. It's obviously micro crap glitch, but at least I can see you. So sorry, I can't access the chat.
That's
but as
all right.
long as we can keep doing this, we'll be rocking, I think.
Okay. Fair enough. Just trying to help you out, Gary.
No, I'll look at it later, though. I'm sure.
Yeah.
So if that link, is there a link to the book or just the name?
You just type in the that's a very old book. It's sold everywhere. Most people have never read it. As I said, I used part of that as a special report we did at Honda about mining, what they call exploitation of space resources. It was a whole program that what?
If we're coming up with that, just think what these higher than human intelligence has been able to do with that and then some.
Oh yeah, no, of course, and that's why I'm trying to say that unofficially, I mean, NASA wouldn't do that because it's more a corporate thing, and that's why Honda, we were doing this report because nuclear fusion reactors that are aneutronic, meaning that they don't kill you because there's not a lot of neutrons, but it generates a huge amount of electricity. It's something you would absolutely need when you go into space. All right, they also have the ASMO robot. So if you've got a power supply, you got your robot workers, and you go off world and you start exploiting these resources off world, you can become super rich. Super rich, but you have to have a plan ahead of you got to really plan it out before you try and do something like that. But that was the long-term planning that we were sending to upper management, and a lot of the people in the different groups around us thought it was completely ridiculous because they couldn't see that far ahead.
Because they have their ostriches being with their head stuck in the sand, maybe something else.
Yeah.
But and that ain't going to get us nowhere because the commie Chinese are thinking about a lot of things.
Yeah.
And notice now, and this is the only political thing I'll get into, but it's relevant, is that notice now we have these treasonous leaders now trying to destroy the Space Force.
Yes.
They do not want us to have the upper hand. We have to be out there in space because of all what you just said, and other promises await us.
Oh, sure. Absolutely.
I mean, think about it, people. I'm not, not for nothing. It's just a reality. The race is on.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Absolutely. So where did you want to go from here in your presentation?
Okay. I wanted to show a couple other potential and faces I've found before we get into something else of what demands questions. I'll just say it right out to a Richard C. Hoagland over old yet new image data, like Robert read out in the bio at the beginning, showing other faces of Mars taken by the Viking orbiters as well that was not given to the public.
Okay.
But is secret intelligence data being given to us through a video, again, like Brookings. And also, regards to your Brookings point, Robert, I believe now we're at a time on Brookings where what you described for all the years previous, but getting us acclimated and used to the ideas of various things of that subject caliber, right?
Yeah.
But now we're at a time where we must be told. Now that, I mean, it's thought-provoking when you think about it in a while. Maybe we could do a show tonight on that, Robert.
Okay.
So here's like a couple other ones I have found. Let me see which one I want to show first. Boom. Okay. Now remember, the faces don't have to look exact like the one at Cydonia.
Mm-hmm.
They would share a similar mindset or a consistency upon its designers of its artistical imprint, as it was, and geometry. You can see the signatures of the geometry of the designers. You can see the signatures of the designers through the art and certain likenesses or things that was done that looks different from the other faces, but still shares an imprint with these new ones. Like, for instance, this one. This one kind of looks like a face on Mars brother,
Mm-hmm.
right?
It still looks like it's wearing a headdress or something.
Oh yeah,
looking
where have
left.
you seen that before?
Yeah, Egypt.
Yeah, and
among
also
other things.
the face of Cydonia. People would say it's a helmet. And
yeah, it does look like a helmet.
so, and look over here. So it's not a crater. It's in fact a pyramid.
Ah.
And you can follow the
And
octagon.
it's looking over at the pyramid. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, or upward. Well, depending again, sunlight. But yes, look at, and there's another one like way up here somewhere. I didn't put that image for this, but it's an example, for you all to see. And here's another view of it. Boom. So just to show of its upright position, it shares again like the mouth. Let's see the line going up to the mouth, like the Cydonia face, comes down. This is also pyramidal as well. These faces of Mars appear to be pyramids as well. He was right. He was giving us intel information. Who? Charles E. Celia. We'll get into him soon.
Okay.
Where this adventure is going to take a ride down the rabbit hole in the Twilight Zone. So, remember though, I'm crazy, but at least you'll be entertained. All right. Now, here's another one. I don't know about you, but I see a face type pyramidish a face. Bizarre. Not looking like the face of Cydonia, nothing like that, but it has bifurcated, split aspects, art all over it. Think of like a mosaic. How tiles and the art and the fine lining, tattoo work. But look at this big old eye. Just looking up at you where the mouth would be. The mouth comes down to the chin with almost like a pyramidish type feature to help bring it out. And notice it also sits upon a mound. It's very interesting. And this crater, if you look closely, isn't a crater at all. We'll zoom in a little. Look, it looks like a rosebud, but look, you can follow the geometry of the lines going through it and the rim, how the rim comes up, like it comes up and has just everything's artscaped. Even here, everything's art. Everywhere my mouse is going, everything, just follow all the lines and nooks and crannies. I will find a way to bring that out better.
Hang on, wait. The chin. I'm looking at the details of the chin.
Right here.
I swear to God, now that you've zoomed in on it, yes, actually, just the chin. No, just the chin, where you've got that gray. Yes, that doesn't look normal. That looks almost like blocks put together.
Blocks or something, features carved. Think of the scales of a fish. A snake skin, but patterns of squares, geometry, circles.
It looks very regular. Yes, very regular. And that's just odd.
Now this thing's huge. This thing's like 2 miles or something in length. And, and that's another thing about these faces of Mars and pyramids on Mars. They have consistent sizes, 2 miles, 2.5 miles, 3 miles, 1 mile, 1.5 miles. It always seems to be on a, gargantuan scale compared to, think about that being done on Earth. Yeah. But because of the gravity limitations on Mars, you could build much bigger things. That's something to consider too. So of the advantages of how things like this could possibly happen.
Yeah.
But it's everywhere. That's the thing. And again, I'm crazy. It's all tattooed, sculpted up artscapes that it sits on. The features and lines all run away from it, connecting to other things, which connect to other things, which you could follow and actually trace out the big picture.
Mhm.
Again, I will get better at bringing all this relief out, but what I was able to bring out, I could see the details in itself. So hopefully I do it some justice for you all.
Mhm.
Remember, I'm at NASA, and they're not doing this crap. All right.
Hold on a second, Gary. We're at the top of the hour. I just want to remind everybody you're listening to the Unicus Report, and my website is unicusmagazine.com. That's spelled UNICUS magazine.com. Please visit when you have time. There's a lot of free information there. There's also some interesting products. And I also appreciate it if you either make a donation or you join my private chat room that I set up recently. You'll see how to do that at the top of the page. But that's my little promo for now. Go ahead, Gary.
Oh, you didn't want to go to a break or none?
No, are we gonna do it? No, Daryl doesn't like doing breaks.
It's up to you. It's definitely up to you. This show is rocking, and all I can say is, since it's rocking so well, overtime is granted. Because I know once you start talking about that in person, overtime is going to be needed.
Right.
If you want a break, I could jam us out real quick with some good old group that was given to us by the name of Silo. And Silo's part of the Global Enlightenment Radio Network family. And I think I got the perfect song for us, guys.
Go for it.
Robert, if you're going to break for 5 minutes or so, that's cool. I got to use the bathroom.
Go ahead.
And when we come back, get ready. Pack them and smoke them. You're definitely going to need them.
on the Unicus. Yeah, baby.
The Unicus Report, yes.
Yeah, the Unicus Report. All right, so we're going to take a break. We're going to little Silo land. Let's do the song that Silo first gave to Global Enlightenment Radio Network. Let's do some glitter and gold, because we are glitter and gold over here at Global Enlightenment Radio Network.
I don't hear nothing.
Girl, I want you, I need you, I love you, I can't let you go.
I'll be back. Thanks.
Let's go! Driving down a two-way road, singing all the songs we know. But baby, all of that glitter ain't gold. Salt on your face again, and the look you get with him. But you don't remember the love I can't forget. I want you, I need you, I love you, I can't let you go. I want you, I need you, I love you, I won't let you go. I want you, I need you, I love you, I won't let you go. Hiding in your place of sin, lose yourself as you spin upside down all around, and we'll do it again. Sell it off for just a 10. Will you still love me then? Everything about us will come to a fortunate end. I want you.
14.
God. Okay. we're
And
back.
welcome back.
This
Overtime is
one and
given.
only Unicus report with the one and only Mars revealer, Gary LEGGIERE. All right. So Gary, you were telling us about all your findings, all your research about Mars, things that we need to know, things that have been withheld from us. Please continue.
Yes, great to be back, everyone, and hopefully you all packed them and smoked them. Again, you're going to need them. But well, I'm sharing some of my finds, and I mean, I have a lot, and there's a lot to be said. But here's another search. While on the search for these faces that I hinted at from that video, which we'll get into, UFO Diaries,
Mm-hmm.
and the connections to Hoagland and the importance to be able to ask him questions about it without being set up, have your life destroyed, and all that good, healthy crap, unhealthy crap along with it. It's healthy to ask questions. Remember that. But anyway, here is, I want to know what you see before. I don't want to tell you what to see. What do you see?
In the middle? Yeah, I can see it vaguely. I can see a face there.
Boom. Sorry, you see the eye, right?
Yeah.
The forehead as it was,
Mm-hmm.
the nose, mouth area. Again, why don't they use normal faces, like you look in the mirror? Don't ask me, people. Ask the Martians. They have this split art iconography mind thing going on. But this math went over. Now, remember, Robert, about the tear?
Mm-hmm.
Now, hopefully you see, follow my arrow.
Mm-hmm.
There's the tear. It looks like a tear to me coming out of the eye.
Mm.
Visual representation. So if what you and others have suggested as the face of Cydonia with that mark under the eye there as being a tear is possible. But again, what does it mean? I don't know. We got to ask them, right?
Yeah.
So, all right. Now, this is a Mars Express image. And very many of you would be surprised where it is. And I haven't told no one. And I still won't. But I'll just say this. It's under everyone's nose, and either everyone around, it's right, making books, being in all these shows, Ancient Aliens, everything else, are not doing their homework. All right? That's neither here nor there.
Okay.
But look at this thing. It's shows a face. Now, Mars Express, again, shows the tattoo. Remember, like all the nooks and crannies, like the face of Cydonia, is being seen here, too. So, let me pull up another one and get a. All right, this is a MRO context image. I have many more of this, but I didn't bring them all. I just brought some.
Oh, yeah, I see.
Now, mind you, this thing is almost 3 miles in length.
It's a cone head.
From here to here is about 2.5, 3 miles. All right. It's not just a cone head. That's the same image.
Wow. Mm-hmm.
To bring out more details that we don't readily see. Obviously, both sides ain't the same, but very pronounced cheeks as it was. And notice the base it sits on is triangular. Oh, yeah. Stop it. Is triangular. They're getting Nancy. Oh, well. So.
Well, let me know if you need to take a break to let the dogs out.
That would take about an hour for me to feed.
Never mind.
So, but here is the better one, in my opinion, of the best MRO CTX. Now, they did hit it on my request, but they did not take the high-rise imagery of it, at least given to the public. In my opinion, they took it.
Mm-hmm.
Bam. Better resolution.
Oh.
A lot of details. It's faint. Remember, this thing's almost 2 to 3 miles long. 2.5, 3 miles long. And again, the nook and crannies give it away. They know how to carve things. Chicken light and shadow is a half truth. They're trying to give you the secret on how to really see what's there, because they're masters of the knowledge of also sunlight in its position and times of day and or year or orbit, whatever phase processional of what will be seen and expected for that position of light hitting it.
Mm-hmm.
Now, granted, I don't see an eyeball that would be able to follow you except maybe here, but I doubt it. The face of Cydonia is really pronounced for that theory, and I want to see it put to the test, but I need much more data.
Yeah.
Video would be nice, but we know that. So, do you see a face there?
Yes, absolutely. Elongated face. Yeah.
Thank you. And it's funny you brought up Conehead.
It looks like Kazoo. It looks like
What,
Gazoo
Daryl?
from the TV show Gazoo. You know,
Oh.
Flintstones. or
Yeah. No kidding. All right.
That was so funny.
There was an image I put out last night, as a matter of fact, or early this morning, to which I have found some time ago, a few years back, but I finally decided to release my processed version. It's a different face, but it shares characteristics of a signature of intelligence in its art,
Yeah.
its designing. And I don't know about you, but can you see a face?
I see a face, but hold on. That thing over the face looks like one of those creatures from Alien on the face.
Yeah.
You remember the movie Alien and that thing that's right in the
Yeah,
mouth
it
of
looks
Gazoo?
like an upside down dragon to me.
Or a phoenix.
Well, okay, whatever. But the head of the dragon is really down where the mouth would
Mouth
be.
is.
That's what I'm seeing. But yeah, it does. You're right. It's the very similar symmetry of the structure, the entire complex.
Notice, especially here, notice the sides
Yeah.
of the face of Cydonia. The face of Cydonia has that other interesting art, which this does.
Yeah.
It's a whole bunch of features that run up. It looks like it's wearing a helmet. Some people said it looks like cone heads. Oh, maybe. All right, but all I know is that when you look at it at first imprint, I see an eye, a nose, a mouth, and again, it's silhouetted. It's like there as its main thing, and of course has so much more to it. And again, I'm not one of these higher than humans that designed it, but I would love to ask them about it, and I'm sure they would give me at least a kudos for noticing it.
Yeah.
Let alone processing it to reveal these features, to where, again, when NASA gives it out, like the face of Cydonia, all this is whited out, and you know, you can barely make out anything, and very interesting image for sure, and does fall in the range of being a face of Mars. Different, they don't have to look alike, remember, people. And this thing is 2.5 miles in length. From here to here is 2.5 miles. From here is 1.5 miles. Again, a consistent size compared to many other features that I've also found. They love miles wide stuff. And again, it looks metallic, Granted, it's black and white, but then it would look like gold and other precious things, colors mixed in. That would only, in my impression, would enhance it all. Because, again, Robert, and even Hoagland and I had shows years ago about this subject, and I'm sure he's brought up with you and others, the true colors of Mars. Why don't they want to show us the true colors of Mars? Well, you're looking at it. Are you having a heart attack? You want to kill your neighbors? If you packed them and smoked them, it definitely helps, and it helps to bring it out more. And that's not to be a wise ass. That's just to show it helps you tune in.
Are you saying that were you saying that Mars is actually gray or black and white?
Indeed. No, I'm not. But compared to this, if we never get color images, yeah, we would think so, right?
Oh, yeah.
But it's good for black and white to notice and find things out. And it would be great to have true color imagery to really test the hypothesis even deeper than what the relief shows us, because of the colors, in my opinion, would reveal the tattoo all the more.
Yeah, I think so. For sure. There's more detail and color.
So it would help, make maybe not more sense.
Especially if it was raw images. If you had raw images in color.
That's what this is from. Oh, right.
No,
Right.
the RAW is. I've done a lot of what do you call it? Non-professional, just amateur photography. And I
Right.
know that a raw file has so much more data to it than just a regular compressed JPEG.
Right. Because it takes data out.
Yeah.
Right. So compress it down and takes data out. Now, I process this from the raw black and whites.
Are they really RAW though? Is it RAW? Because
It's in like a CUB or a EDR, but it's their raw format as it was.
Okay, I see.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, the reason that's important is because when you do any kind of post-production work on a file, if it doesn't have the data, you can't really do much processing to it other than maybe contrast and brightness.
Right, and maybe hope you catch glimpses of some of it remaining to be
Yeah.
able to determine anything, which would want you to check out the raw data.
Yeah.
Because there's stuff to bring out that's not given in the officially released images. Again, the obfuscated face of Cydonia we looked at earlier and others, and even this one, how they release it to the public through its MRO context imagery, it's all whited out. You can see this clear, dark, that dark.
Yeah, it is curious.
Yep, and it's pretty cool. It sucks that we have to do it, but the data's there. They're putting it out. They're just not saying anything about it because they know the majority of people don't give a crap, let alone are going to take time to try to figure out how to process it.
Yeah.
But I had to learn patience. I want to show you a couple other things before we move on to the main UFO diaries, because there's other things to see, not just faces, but pyramids as well in various types. Let me see, there's DNM here. We'll start out with that one. That's the most known. And I have one more facial thing to show, but that'll be for the UFO diaries aspect. At least I got DNM sitting here. Must have put it in a different file. Sorry. But here's a pyramid I have found. And this is a scale of almost 2 miles as well, the feature itself.
Mm-hmm.
You can see the geometry of it, almost pentagonal.
Mm-hmm.
Here is something else that's interesting. Notice the designing of this thing.
Yeah, once again.
Triangular.
Mm-hmm.
A circle in the pyramid.
Mm-hmm.
It's got the outer rungs of it, consistent in distancing too. I mean, it has many more fine relief on it too. Once you notice the overall frame of it, you could really fill it in, pack it in, and then see that it continues on everywhere else too. This ain't dirt and rock. This is sculpted metal, which brings you to these so-called craters. Wow, how's that a crater when you're seeing these cool shapes risen? And look at the sharp edges of it. They're like roofs or domes, and very intricate. Again, the artwork continues all over.
Can you zoom in on that where you just were? Can you zoom in on that crater? Because there's
right here?
both of those at the top look like there's something in them, something geometric.
They don't even look like craters. You're exactly.
No, there's very. It looks like small buildings or something.
Right.
Hang on, it takes a second. There. Now you can see it.
But they all go with the art flow to connect to everything else here. And you follow all the lines, you notice then it's like a giant mosaic puzzle. The tattoo is on acid, gone mad. Some mad alien tripping out that has the ability to carve up planetary surfaces.
Hold on. Gary, I just took notice of something. Doesn't it remind you of the Eye of Ra?
Where?
The pyramid with the circle in the center. Just picture it.
Oh, yes.
Put the eye in the middle.
Yeah.
The Eye of Ra.
Mm-hmm. Oh, yeah.
It's funny you say that, because here's something else that doesn't look like this, but it's a similar. I think you'll get a kick out of it. Tell me that's not.
That's a different one?
That's the same.
God, that
Notice, notice the triangular. Notice the outer rim of. I mean, they're consistent in his banding. I call him banding. This is like a weird base wall or something. Notice the circle in the pyramid. That's also art carved, but it's definitely circular. You can bring it up. I have done drawings of this. I could include them, but it would be mad because you would see this entire thing, how it's sculpted, and it's wow.
Hold on, that looks like a pyramid with the what they call the monument, Washington Monument, the cylinder. It's called a oh my god, huh?
What, the top? An obelisk?
An obelisk in the center.
Huh.
That's actually an ancient Egyptian symbol as well, if you look at it. This is kind of interesting. I'm just taking note of this stuff, and it's not the first time I've seen it. But
in color of this, I want to show you real quick.
It's like a tower in the center, like the Washington Monument or the one that's in Vatican City. I can't remember what they called it.
It's an obelisk.
Obelisk. Yeah, you're right.
Keep looking at that. It's very interesting, isn't it?
Yeah.
I want to find.
Yeah, pyramid with an obelisk in the center. They.
Come on. I got it down there. I got to go through all these images. I should have just threw it in there. I knew it.
Gary, don't worry, bro. You're supposed to do it the same way. Yes, it's like the goat. What is the name of the obelisk? Oh my God, it looks just like it, identical, with the pyramid. I can't remember the name of it. See, that's what you get when you get old.
Seen where? Seen where?
I've seen that image before.
He's looking for it.
I'm looking. It's like the Pyramid of Giza. You got the obelisk, and then you have around it a pyramid form, and then you have the pyramid behind it. I wonder what's behind that structure.
What's behind door number 3?
The top of the pyramid. I wonder what's behind it, because if it is, it's a pyramid.
Yeah.
It's material. I think I know where it is. And at least you'll be entertained. Don't want to dead air. Apologize for that. Just keep looking at it because it's fascinating, especially when I find the color version. It's gonna bring it.
A color version?
Color version of this?
Yes.
Oh.
From Mars Express.
Wow. Because that obelisk, it looks like one. It really does look like one. You can see the sides. And it's like a mount. And then you got the pyramid sitting there. Or they could say Pinocchio's nose if you really want to have some fun with it. A pyramid shape on the ground, and then Pinocchio's nose. That could be really interesting. I wish they'd give us good... Yeah, see, Sarah goes, dude, what the fuck? Mary's like a giant worm. But look at it, Mary. Sarah, look at it.
About that, what they're seeing.
But Sarah, look at it. You see the pyramid on the screen, and you see the thing standing straight up. There's a if you look it up on the internet, you'll see the pyramid ground, the obelisk, and then behind it's the Pyramid of Giza.
You talking about the Sphinx?
No, it's a Pyramid of Giza right behind it.
No, I know, but there is no obelisk at the Sphinx, the
obelisk is at Giza. Let's see where it's at. It's
What do you see?
Where was it?
Anyway, this is the color image, Gary?
Yes.
Wow.
Now, granted.
Hold on, Mars has colors?
Mars Express.
Now, granted, I got to stretch it to its correct proportion for the color version,
Mm-hmm.
but this is what it should be, okay? And what you see here, but it still retains the art. You know, you can tell
Yeah.
this is the pyramid. I mean, but look, notice how the colors and the diversity, and I can swear I see metals, I see gold, I see who knows what precious that would throw out those colors. What metals? Titanium? I don't know. You know how they throw those rainbow colors type
Yeah.
of thing. Who knows what metals? But I definitely see metal, and that's what makes the most sense. Again, Robert, like earlier about the pewter sculptures.
Yeah.
You can see that same type of work here,
Mm.
and that's the trick to it.
Wow.
Is it can act camouflagic. Let me show you something else now. I'll drop that. Bing. Uh-oh. All right, good. All right. Here's another face I have found. Do you see what I would claim as a face?
Yeah, the top
not
one.
so much. I don't. Not in this one.
It looks like a bull's face, but it's been crushed in. But it's still
Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5 points.
Point to the eyes, Gary.
This.
I know, but point to the eyes just to see if we're on a. Yeah. Okay. It's a Sesame. It's a Sesame Street character.
And here's the more, like an ape almost.
Yeah.
You know, here's the side cheekbone, weird looking face. Here is more of a rounded structure to it. But again, remember these faces of Mars are never whole, as it was. Look at these beautiful artistical features, where the mouth goes, and then how it comes this way and meets, you know, runs around the chin. But the chin's actually runs into a part of a larger structure slash what some would say looks like an island with, you know, craters. Again, it's not
Well,
craters.
wait a second. Since you mentioned craters, the eyes on this one is really weird, but just below the mouth on the chin, there's a hole there. And so what are you going to say, that that's a crater?
Right here?
Nope. A little further to your right and up.
Here.
For more, there, yeah, that. Look at that. Okay, so, and it's perfect. Really? Is that supposed to be a freaking crater too? I don't think so.
And remember, you got to look at all the details. The relief is what shows the art. But many people, it's hard. These guys, you know how we have Robert. Damn it! Hold on. I gotta get a new computer, guys. I'm ready to throw out the effing window, but I can't. But anyway, so. All right, now what was I going to say? Oh, the features. Look, follow all the features. Robert, how many people have right brain type of thinking.
Yeah.
One sees math more, and the other sees an art more. I see it from art more, and I can see the math by the geometry. Carl Sagan himself said years ago, when asked how do you look for, let's say, intelligent civilizations on other planets, Mars could have been the subject, but you know, people would say, you know, look for cities, roads, you know, stuff like that. All right, well, fine, but what is the main thing? And people are still confused. Their geometry. You look for geometry. There's geometry all over. Now, here's Mars Express color view of the image.
Oh.
Hopefully that helps. It definitely does help bring out other features and get a little better perspective. And I still see a lot of gold, but notice the beautiful colorings.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's Mars Express. All right. Boom. Boom. And MRO. Mars Express color data laid over it. Now notice the pupil.
Yeah.
The pupil on this MRO image is looking this way.
Sure.
The other image we just had up,
Yeah, that's very it's very different.
oh, sorry, Robert. You can see the pupils more toward the center looking this way.
Yeah.
Now, that's the beauty thing. In a way that helps support my hypothesis of the roving eyes, to bring the life, the art, and like animation. So
Right.
if you're going above the planet and it's this thing carved so right that an eye would follow you because your position of line of sight and how the eye would move as you would move because you're moving with the light, how it hits what's carved, depending on your position, you would get to see certain things.
Yeah.
We need to test that hypothesis. I'm crazy. I told you you need to pack them in school. So, MRO with the Mars Express color overlaid. Amazing. Look at that. The eye is looking this way here. It's clearly, you saw the difference. The pupil is here. On this one, the eyes moved. Imagine what we could see if we had more data.
Yeah.
And this is about the same size as the face of Cydonia, as a matter of fact. Mile and a half long. Again, the consistent sizes. You know, it really, and there's other characteristics like the face of Cydonia is strong. The eye, something under the eye. The mouth, how it goes downward. And what do I have? Do I have something on the facesofmars.com page that shows you, or if you would like, I could play something. It's a video that shows perspective views of this image that goes through. Well, let me see if it's on here first off. Yes, it is. It's on the face. I'll just put it up here.
Marianne says it looks like a Van Gogh painting.
Or Picasso or some weird thing. Here's a color image of that other face we looked at earlier. And a video. You guys would want to check it out. It's like a half hour long. It plays some cool Pink Floyd. How it matches to. Here's a video. It's maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes long. It's on the facesofmars.com page. Under the images we were checking at of the perspective views of Carlotto's Shade from Shading. All right, so that's where it's at. And Robert, you can check out that video later. It's got Ozzy singing Scary Little Green Men.
Cool.
Do you believe in little scary green men? And then, here's another face. Can you guys see that?
Yeah.
Let me click. Oh, I better be able to. I linked it. Oh, right here.
Yeah, the Screamer. I was going to say, it looked like Van Gogh's Screamer.
And that's what I call it, the Screamer face. Well, it's actually someone else named it that. I said, you know what? That's just as good as any. It's a weird thing. And the beauty of it, you could click on the image. There's other structures, pyramidish, nearby. Bizarrely art carved, structured, sculpted. And this whole thing, again, think of like a mosaic picture. All these purpose-placed tiles, but they're not tiles. They're sculpted. And now, boom. Kind of like she said, Picasso or whatever that other artist's name is. Right?
Van
Weird. Van Gogh. Thank you. It's got other features nearby. The whole thing's worthy of study. And you can follow the lines. How is it? Coincidence. It lines up to here, goes this way, but the same line also runs off this way to connect to the corner of this, which comes in these little pyramidal features here running up to what makes the center of the Van Gogh crazy mad Martian painting. Sculpting.
Yeah.
Now down here, these are interesting. I don't know if you can see that, but
Yeah, I see him.
you can see the buttressing. Some say, that might be a sign of a destroyed pyramid or something. I believe it's all sculpted purposely. When we see the colors and when we see and consider that this is all artwork based on what we need to see in various sun lightings and orbit positions, etc., and your position. If we had videos, I'm sure they got them. They're just not showing us. Yeah. To me, it's beautiful. That's wow. Yeah. And it could be a little frightening, but when you consider the scale, it's beyond us. Yeah. It's of our ability. Let me close that out. Scary little green man. All right, boom. Here's another. You know what I call this?
What?
The foot pyramid.
What?
It's like a sole of a foot. I'm not saying it's a foot, or that's what they intended, but how to me it looks like when we walk on the beach.
Gary, stop. You know, anybody else looking at that picture, please tell me what it looks like, because if I say it out loud, I think people will be rolling.
I'm thinking that. Maybe. I don't know.
What?
It's
Gary?
Russian manhood. Yeah.
Yeah, the manhood. Am I? Marianne, come on, girl. You know you gone. Sarah's like,
I guess. Well, you're thinking this and this, and I didn't look at it like that. Yeah, but I do have a picture that does look like a manhood. However, look at this. Look at how the lines. It's a pyramid, and how it's again ran into a base and some bizarre crater, which I don't think is a coincidence. I think it's purpose, and how it also shapes the base and the form of this foot pyramid. It's just, it's weird.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
Really is.
Now, check this out.
It's a boy.
What?
Many are blown away by this one. Many. And had one other person just 2 days ago, as a matter of fact, said, that looks like metal. And I put a heart on it. Love it. Because no one else has said that. This looks like heavy metal.
Sarah's like, I have no words.
Wow.
But look at the geometry. Look at the pyramid. It looks like, if anything, it might have been a target. BS. If it's not a target, then they deliberately imprinted this design in there. Because look how it flows with the art.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, Robert? You see where I'm going?
Yeah.
So it's like hard to tell sometimes, but it does look artificial. You got geometry, the basis of what Sagan said to use. Granted?
Yeah, around the base, it's really interesting how there's like cuts around it that look very they look very evenly spaced.
Mm-hmm.
Like somebody really was measuring the cuts, like little facets.
It's almost a mile wide from memory. It might be wider than a mile, but it's just under a mile wide from memory.
Okay.
So I don't have it, but either way, it's huge. Either way, how big is the effing Pyramid of Giza? I mean, give me a break. That ain't nothing compared to what we're seeing on Mars. And we can't duplicate the pyramids here on Earth, let alone figure out and fathom how they did the gargantuans of Mars, let alone carve an artscape.
Yeah.
Incredible.
Wow.
Check out this one.
Whoa.
Remember the foot pyramid with the crater at the corner?
Really? This is a different one?
This is a different picture.
This is not the foot? Wow, that is bizarre.
From this corner to here, I think from this corner to here is like 2.5, 3 miles.
Uh-huh.
That means the main pyramidal feature that sits on its base, that's also mounded and sculpted, and those aren't craters. Look how they're shaped. That's why I said, what came afterward? Is this a dome or is it cratered? And if it is, why is it cratered? And then why isn't it destroying? And why does it look like it's fashioned in and is being a part of the overall base.
Mm-hmm.
It brings up many weird aspects to how these Martians / whoever did all this. Look at this cool little thing here sticking out. I mean, you always see weird stuff like this. And it's purpose. It's purpose. Like an artist, it's all this is purpose. Even the rim of this thing, look at it. I mean,
that doesn't look right. Yeah.
It's gilded with art. It just doesn't look like it. Shouldn't, if it was just crater blowout, it would be disturbing these cool looking artificial knobs here and the lines and the art that continues, that makes up and works toward the mound and goes away from it. I mean, it's just weird.
Yeah.
And again, like the wall, how is it that it's not destroying this wall? This edge of the thing is built in, looking as part of it. Even with
can you zoom in on that part? That's really unusual. The crater. Wow.
See? Now, Robert, I think you would agree, if it was just an impact, it would obliterate or cover up all this.
Yeah, it almost looks like a shell.
Instead, it looks like.
But there's a
Shell.
Yeah, there's a shell, but there's a rising in the middle. And if it's an impact crater, it wouldn't be a rising.
Follow the lines, see where they go. They all match up to the central point here. It comes up, almost like star. You could just follow all these lines, and they continue onward and outward everywhere too. Genius. How?
Weird. That is really weird.
And look at this weird crater above it. That's not a crater. Then look at the triangular thing, and this is risen here. This edge goes around. This is all, and it's all connected to this, and to everything. Nothing is coincidental here. That is what makes it harder for people to see, to interpret all the more, because of all the scale of the artwork and the fineness of the relief. It's so hard to fathom, because again, 3 miles. Take a nice 3-mile trek over this, and who knows how. And I think it's 1,500, 2,000 feet. I got to look again. I'm sorry, people. So many of them I got to keep track with. But the point is, there's so many of them, right? There shouldn't be nothing. Do you guys see a pyramid anywhere?
Yes, on the left.
A weird one. Again, everything's weird. They're crazy. They say I'm crazy. Why? Because I'm trying to describe and bring out what their madness. I got the Martian madness, baby. And it's all over. Who knows what this is and or was.
Right.
But this should have obliterated something. Oh, maybe, that's why that looks like it did. It might have did it. Then where's the material? Why is it all art sculpted still? Where's all the material that would obscure the fine relief? If you look real good close, you could follow the art, the scale-like patterns. It's all relief. These aren't image artifacts. This was processed from the raw formats, not after it's been processed and degraded. Crazy. Not all pyramids are 4 sides. They could also be, well, what you see.
It's a giant, mound is what it looks like to me. But again,
pyramid mound. That's all right. For layman's terms, all right. We can see aspects of both of those things. Artificial. Wow. And again, the art scales follow all the details, but as the main structure, look at all these sub-structures connected to it. Very ornate.
Yeah, very, very. It reminds me of a sand dollar almost.
Right, yeah, you're mentioning shells.
That's the same thing Sarah said.
Like some aquatic mindset, artistical designing and all. Maybe it's to represent the water that used to be there. And are they the cause of making everything not be there and utilizing and doing the surface up, or was this even under the water at one point, which means someone sculpted it under the water? What came first, the chicken or the egg? So many questions. Crazy. Oops. Bizarre.
Is that a different one now?
Yep.
Wow.
Very interesting. Pyramidish, moundish. But look at all these other interesting artscape features around it
Yeah.
that have its purpose. For all we know, all of this is a damn language and the history of the damn universe, for all we know.
Yeah.
I don't know. And I have a feeling it might.
Can you go up to the left-hand corner there? Scroll down.
That?
Left. Yeah. Can we take a closer look at that? There's some structure. There's a structure inside that, or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't look right either.
It's artificial. It's been done up. And whatever the purpose of these things are, maybe there's stuff under it. I don't know. Under all these, maybe these could be homes. And,
Wow.
Remember, this is not minimal size stuff. Maybe this is here, a half mile maybe. Again, I'm just going by memory and recollection. Could be larger, but it's definitely not under a half mile.
Mm-hmm.
That's huge. And especially with all this weird stuff and what appears to be nearby, it's incredible. I mean, there's so much to see on Mars. Here's something that really baffled me. I call it the Mad Martian Pyramid.
Wow. There's one of those weird ass craters. It looks like a shell or something.
Now, we did run Carlotto's Shape from Shagan algorithm. He didn't do this one, but my friend did, because it can only be used on Macs. But this crater actually comes up, slopes down. Either way, how can you excuse the other if both were in purpose for the same design purpose? This would totally obliterate this.
Yeah.
And where would all this debris? Well, maybe that's why all this is gone.
Yeah, wait a minute. You're making a good point. In the on the moon, when you look at meteor impacts, there's rays that run out in every direction from the impact crater. I don't see any of that in this.
No, I see the art running away to it and connecting to it, that's sculpted to it, but I'm not seeing nothing that's just destroying. That's the point. There should be nothing connecting to it. We shouldn't see no art, no relief of consistency that matches up the features of what we see there. It should be gone.
Right.
It would show, hey, is that crater older than that pyramid? Or is the pyramid older than that crater? Then we're not seeing anything that would disassociate both them being purpose for at the same time a building. In my mind. Remember, but then again, all this has been art sculpted, and they could have come back over it multiple times. They added more lines of art depending upon their position in space as they chisel down with beams various features. I'm sure they do it up close, then zoom far away and get even more precise with the tattoo pen as it was. I mean, it's really bizarre, but it's not far-fetched.
Yeah.
Crazy. Even Hoagland said years ago to me, Gary, it's good science, just not yet.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
So what you're smoking,
Yeah.
But I see where he was going, and that's what got him attracted to me because of my claims that I see Mars as a giant work of art.
Yeah.
Ow, boom.
Whoa.
Whoa.
Something like that is it cannot be natural. That cannot be natural.
It's not a crater, that's for sure.
That cannot be natural. Impossible.
You got geometry. Again, you got a pyramid with in a circle. A type
And something
of
coming out.
triangle with an eye. Some say an eye above it, like the famous.
Yeah.
but I think there's more to it than that. But it's definitely artificial.
It's like a city.
Yeah.
But I think Gary's right. I think it's more like artwork, what we're seeing there. That because there's too much of this stuff that looks artistic.
Medal of Valor. Well, Sarah said it.
God.
They don't know what they're looking at and really care. And but yet they want to tell you what reality is. So that, let me see it now before we go on. I think I showed enough of various faces and structures just to show you all there's a lot of things to find on Mars if you actually do your homework and look. All right, it's not easy. I've been doing this since 1998. I get tired of all the crap here on Earth. I go to Mars in multiple ways, and, and it's paying off. Now, what really inspired my search more is a video called UFO Diaries.
Uh-oh.
I was mailed a disc from my hometown in a brown paper bag. Might have been from the store wrapping. No return address, postmarked in my town on the Space Coast of Florida at that time in 2003. All right? Now, mind you, I had just started maybe doing my radio show, The Martian Revelation. I was maybe like 2 years in, maybe working on my third. WMEL 920 AM, and also, on the internet. I had to come up with funds. You know how it is to do it on radio stations. They got to make money. But at least my flag was planted there, NASA's front door. All right. And they noticed. All right. I was even in Florida today, 2-page article. Anyway, so something to tap my own horn. I'm not really proud of the article, but they laid its foundations. We'll talk about that another time. So, 2 or 3 years into the show, 2003, I get anonymously mailed a disc. Just a recordable disc, a CDR, that had writing on my address that said, "I hope you see it, ... and bigger letters, "I hope you see it." All right? What the hell is this? You get fan mail or other people sending you stuff. They would like you to check out UFO videos. So you radio show hosts like you, Robert, know how that is.
Yeah, but wait a minute, Gary, did you post or report? Did you share your a PO box or something with your audience?
No.
Then how did they get your address?
I didn't have a PO box. It was mailed to my address.
At your home.
I never gave out my address.
Okay, so some spook is sending this to you.
Oh boy, man, you're already off on a fire, Robert. Because considering where all this is gonna go.
All right.
That's the only thing that you could attribute. So, and how more bizarre it gets. So 2003, I get this disc. I unwrapped it. I slap it in there. I play it. 1 minute. Stop. I'm like, okay. Time to light one up. Light a cigarette. What the hell did I just see? Do I dare? Let me smoke this doobie first. I'm going to press play again. 5 minutes later, I press play again from the beginning. The opening line, not even 1 minute or 1 full minute. Incredible. I see this. Now, mind you, this is an image. When this video starts, it starts off talking. And a guy walking out from behind the wall, walking around the entire room, which I didn't have the whole scene here in this for you guys. I'm sorry, I was running late. Or this would have been next week. So forgive me, Robert.
That's okay.
But anyway,
we got.
So what this is, as the video starts and you're hearing what is said, as he walks around the room, the camera's following him.
Yeah.
So the only thing that could be done, because the camera moves so fast, I had to freeze every frame, capture it for the whole scene of the 1 minute of matching to the audio of what was said to get a glimpse of the room as that's being said. Right? I mean, all right, let's check out the whole vicinity. We have to, like a puzzle, we have to put the puzzle pieces together because why? It's called UFO Diaries. Now, this is going to get crazy, people. I hope you're packing a smoke. Don't drink them and inebriate you and make you stupid. Smoke them. So as what he's saying, you freeze the pictures, then compile it together in a scene. All right, let me press play again.
Well, before you go anywhere, this black and white image in the middle of the so-called face, is that the same face or is that a different face? Because that doesn't look like.
Man, Robert, you're on a fire roll tonight, buddy, and you didn't even need to smoke them.
No, I had to give that up, Gary.
Hey,
Look how strong you are.
everybody.
Look how strong you are. The opening minute of what, again, I put it in. Remember, the rapper said, I hope you see it, ... I hope you see it.
Oh, yeah. Okay, I guess I'm seeing.
I put bingo, and I said, okay, because look to the left of it.
Yeah.
We see a familiar friend. Look to the right of it. We see a familiar friend with also added intel. They had infrared imagery back then.
True. But the black and white image, though, Gary, are you confirming that the black and white image in the middle, the vertical one, that's a different face?
Correct.
Yeah. But
it gives you the example of the one we know to the left of it.
Yeah.
Do you see those things next to that one? In fact, it doesn't even look like that one, but it does look like a brother.
Yeah, it does. Well, I mean, but it's okay. But then again, it's also we're not seeing the close up of it, but it sure has the same features.
That bingo, Robert. Again, man, I think you would have won what we talked about privately earlier.
Yeah.
I have good feelings about you, brother. All right, because you're using your eyes and your analytical prowess.
Okay.
Now, boom. Okay. So, what's being said as that scene is being made? Let me show this. Okay. Now I'm going to zoom in. Now, why do you see red letters and all that there? Because into the words, remember, the guy comes out from behind this wall, walks around the room, comes all the way back, stands in front of this particular image, and says this, Robert, surely no intelligent life could survive there. He stands in front of it, asking us that question with a tiny smirky smile as he says, surely no intelligent life could survive there. Where? Behind him, that he stood in front of and asked us that question. Okay, I said, now, if that was a trick, let me look at the script of what it says itself. Because the script is a coded map. It's a mathematical problem that you have to figure out and solve to lead you to the answer of the surely no intelligent life could survive there question that he stands in front of at the end of that minute and asks us. You guys want to know the opening line? It says this: the planet Mars we now know. No, I'm sorry. That's the second line. The second minute. Well, I don't think we'll have time to get into that tonight. But it says the planet Mars is next to our own. The fourth world counting out from the sun.
Okay. Oh, I see.
Now,
I gotcha.
If we were to attribute that, could we attribute it to what we're being shown once we put the puzzle pieces together of the scene? Because if I'm right, I sound crazy, batshit crazy, don't I?
Well, hang on just a sec, please, Gary. We're at the top of the hour. I think we're going to run long, right, Daryl?
Yes. It'll be worth it.
Not too long. Well, we can also pick this up later because I do have to run at some point here because I wasn't planning on going past 2 hours, but we'll do this.
If y'all want, y'all can do part 2.
I want everybody to know you're listening. You're watching the Unicus report. And Gary LEGGIERE the Mars Revealer is literally revealing things on Mars we've never seen. I've never seen this before. It's absolutely amazing. So we're going to continue a little bit longer. Hope you stick with us. Go ahead, Gary.
Well, I gotta
Thank you,
say,
Robert.
let me
And
say
sorry
something.
about that.
Hey, real quick, I gotta say the 83,000 people on the server, and then the people that have jumped over and are massively sharing on Facebook. I thank y'all. This show is rocking, and they are saying, "Do y'all want them to continue?"
Well, let's put it this way. I'll
Keep
go
going.
because I got 13 dogs I got to feed to and
Yeah,
plants.
oh yeah, right. Hungry
But
dogs.
I appreciate the time. And Robert, thank you. We will definitely need to have a part 2.
Yes.
But let's get to
Go ahead.
the meat of this.
Go
And
ahead.
we'll end off there on a cliffhanger.
Okay.
Because I want you to go back over this, Robert, too, and think about all this. And then I'm going to have you watch the video yourself.
Okay, cool.
The video itself is only 22 minutes long.
Uh-huh.
Okay. And that'll bring up, again, we could go on to this for hours, how much data and information that yielded results and my investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Robert, you have such promise. And obviously you have the balls to say what you just said, because I know damn well you're going to want to know some basic answers, some basic questions that is righted to be known about.
Mm-hmm.
I think at the least. Not personal feelings, attacks, or whatever one may want to come up as an excuse to not ask about this. Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So the script. The planet Mars is next to our own. The fourth world, counting out from the sun. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Mm-hmm.
And look, planet 5, we also get to see Jupiter and Saturn next. And it's not far-fetched. That is describing a solar system or a makeshift one.
Yeah.
Because all we have to do is connect to what's being said, to what we could possibly imagine, whether one may think it is or not. Let's see if it yields results, right? Okay. So as we were all asked the question, surely no intelligent life could survive there. Where? Obviously, you pointed out, number 4, the fourth world, which is also being called our own.
By whom?
So the planet Mars is next to our own, the fourth world, counting out from the sun.
Yes.
Then there's more. Guy Smiley's walking around the room. His real name's Michael Flynn. He's an actor. That was supposed to be spoken and seeing someone else doing what he's saying and doing, by the way. Can you guess who that is and who not wanted to play his part? Anyway. So the planet Mars is next to our own. The fourth world, counting out from the sun.
Yeah.
Barren, he walks around the room. Barren, perpetually cold because you're in space. Do I have a picture here to represent that? All right. Here's space. You see planets. You see probes, right? So just add this on to the other scene to get the full room view. I have the full room view, but not here. I apologize.
Okay.
Next show, Robert, if he has me back, we'll show that.
Yeah,
all right.
absolutely.
So, barren, perpetually cold, right? He says it right here. He puts up his hands.
Mm-hmm.
Perpetually cold and with a thin atmosphere of poisonous gas. And then, surely no intelligent life can survive there. He stands in front of this image. Guess what? I solved the riddle. Why is there a riddle? What do you see here?
The Sphinx.
What do you see here?
The Sphinx.
Which way is the Sphinx looking?
Well, it's looking towards the other Sphinx.
It wants us to notice. Why? Because there's a riddle.
Yeah, the riddle of the Sphinx. Yeah, I know.
Bingo. Now think about that again. The planet Mars is next to our own. The fourth world, counting out from the sun, also called our own. The fourth world, counting out from the sun. Barren. I got to open it again.
Did you know? I guess you know this too. I'll just mention it for the audience. Cairo which is the most recent name for the city where in Egypt where the Giza Plateau is, where the Sphinx is located, it translates to the word Mars.
City of Mars. Bingo.
Yeah.
Interesting. So barren, perpetually cold, because he's walking around the room of deep space.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Where it's barren, perpetually cold, and with a thin atmosphere of poisonous gas. And then he stands in front of this image and says, surely no intelligent life can survive there. Okay, where? In barren space, which is true on the surface. People would say, yes, well, that's right. He's right. And Mars does have a thin atmosphere of poisonous gas, fine. But he was talking about deep space, where it's barren, perpetually cold, meaning you're not even warm. You're on the other side of the room.
Oh, I see.
That's right. See me through your mind's eye. Pack them and smoke them. You'll get it. Because as he walks around describing perpetually barren, perpetually cold space with a thin atmosphere of poisonous gas, and then he comes and stands in front of that image, says, surely no intelligent life can survive there. Where? Well, in order to see that he was talking about that image, our own, number 4, because he stands in front of it, almost gives a smile on his face. Surely no intelligent life can survive there. Where? Behind him, right? So then how do we come to that conclusion? Well, he describes a coded map. And it's describing the process what we have to do to put the puzzle pieces together. Because again, when you see the video, as this is being said, everything's moving so fast. You know, you can barely see this. And most people that even do watch this, they missed what you were able to see, Robert. Now, would you see it beyond me pointing it out for you?
No, yeah, but you gave us a screen capture. If it was just a video and it was flashing by, there's no way I would really consciously.
Well, there was though, because I seen it. Remember, the first minute, I just shut it off.
Oh,
and I
that's
said,
right.
I had to pack one.
Yeah.
And I said, what the hell did I just see? Do I dare the balls in to go back and press play? All right. So now I'm solving the riddle. This is going out in spans of months and even a couple years, a year and a half till I solved this. All right. Barren, the planet Mars is next to our own. The fourth world coming out from the sun. Barren, perpetually cold. In most people's minds, they think he's talking about Mars, which on the surface, yeah, he is. But we're looking what's being said under the surface. And Hoagland said stuff about that a lot of time. It's really under the surface where you see the truth, though. It's so nuts. But that's what the truth is. Now, get this. So barren, perpetually cold. Where? In deep space. We're not even warm because he's on the other side of the room. We're not even warm. But then he says, with a thin atmosphere of poisonous gas, we're getting warmer. Why? Because he walks up toward this wall of darkness, I call it. Remember Arthur C. Clarke, the Great Wall of Darkness? Hoagland loves to focus on those things. Yeah. The face of forever or whatever. Anyway, so what I had to do is use my mind, pack them and smoked them quite a few times. And I said, how simple at some point when I finally seen it. Why? Because barren, perpetually cold. I was right. We were cold. Perpetually cold with a thin atmosphere of poisonous gas. He walks back in the center of the frame of the whole room, stands in front of a podium with an alien head on it. What looks like a light bulb that's supposed to represent a weather balloon maybe, but it looks like a light bulb. And that's on the podium with next to it on the light bulb, what I call the light bulb, have a bright idea. Why? Because you have to come to that point to understand the bright idea of what the alien head we're being steered to see, where surely no intelligent life can survive there, to the left, which you've seen.
Yeah.
How it connects symbolically, visually, like hieroglyphs when we match it to the coded map of the script. So we got a bright idea when he stands in front of a podium as he's walking to the left with the light bulb and the alien head, where he says, with a thin atmosphere of poisonous gas, surely no intelligent life can survive there. All right, I have a bright idea. Let's focus on the thin atmosphere of poisonous gas, right? Because
Mhm.
as he's saying that, he's standing in front of that light bulb at that point in the mid-room. Sits on a podium again next to an alien head, an alien gray, but it was green. But anyway, so the light bulb in my head went off. Focus on those words. If this is what I believe it appears to be, it's a clue and a marker for us to pause, turn on the lights. Why? This is what? The thin atmosphere of poisonous gas. Then I got it. I solved it, Robert. Why?
What?
What's coming out of his mouth
Oh.
as he speaks?
Yeah, hot air.
Good one. No,
Sorry.
not only that, the dominant gas that's on Mars, that's being
carbon
declared-
dioxide. Yeah, yeah. Oh no, you're right. Yeah, I didn't. Yeah.
So when he says, with a thin atmosphere of poisonous gas, we're getting warmer, the light bulb went off. And what happens when you turn on a light? It gets warmer. Now, so now he's in the middle of the room where he was once barren, perpetually cold. He was, not even warm. You guys aren't even close. Boom, the light bulb goes off. It gets warmer.
He's playing the hot cold game with us.
Yes,
like he did with the kid. Oh my
it's
God.
a coded map.
Oh,
It's a
jeez.
riddle. It's a riddle you have to solve to get to the next riddle after that, which we won't have time to get into. But I think this stuff is going to blow you all away and Robert catch your attention, which I believe I have now.
Yeah.
Now, at least some intrigue you're at least interested to investigate, I think. But I'm not going to speak for you. You don't have to answer me. I don't want to put words in your mouth. I need you to do this on your own at that regard.
Okay.
Now, so, boom, it's getting warmer. The light's on. The thin atmosphere of poisonous gas. Okay, I got it. I was right. The whole 1 minute scene, and especially when you compile all the images together, we're seeing the intelligent life that survives there. We're not just as image number 4 being called our own. That only clarifies and validates and vindicates that by what we're able to see of the script, which is the words, the carbon dioxide coming out of his mouth, which is in fact a deadly poisonous gas, thin atmosphere on Mars. So the guy ain't lying.
Yeah.
He's not lying to us, right?
Yeah.
So then you're like, okay, what's the real question? Not just a surely intelligent life that made me laugh, a guy smiley standing in front of it. Intelligent life could survive there. No, that was the easy part. What's the harder part to see? The intelligent life that could survive there, where? In the entire 1 minute long script, of which leads us to solve the puzzle, solve the mathematical problem, even though it's addition. It's an addition. It's math, simple math. They didn't use multiplications or some high geometry. They used simple math to code into play to lead us to that fourth world where we're being shown was, well, intelligent life that survives there. Why? The image. It's not a public NASA release image. It was an image of intelligence put there by who? Our own.
Oh. Got it.
A signature of representation of an attribute of ownership, even though there's more one face of understanding to see and where that leads. But it leads us to solve the opening riddle that leads us to that face to where it knows, Robert and others, that you would have to do what I did. Stop each picture, grab them all, put them together, see the scene, because that takes intelligence, right? To put a puzzle together. All right, you put it together and then try to match up the script. If it is a coded map, it should come to that validation and vindication, which when the light bulb went off while I was perpetually cold, it got a lot warmer once I looked into the thin atmosphere of poisonous gas, which was a hint to look at the intelligent life that indeed, we can ask now, survives there in that script. That leads us to where again? Number 4, and to the reality of their coded script. So now those who are on the surface who see this and just think it's, wow, just some 1 minute telling us that space is barren and cold and Mars has a thin atmosphere, poisonous gas, which is known anyway, and they're not seeing because they're not seeing what the hell I'm seeing, and bring them out to how you see.
Wow.
How? Is that me? I'm crazy because I was able to think, using my intelligence, doing some simple math that's in the intelligence of that script that leads us back to the beginning, to where he stands in front of the image, all comedy-like. Surely no intelligent life could survive there. So we're being hinted at both that image and that script, and we passed the test. But yet, the roller coaster ride is just beginning down the rabbit hole. So I think now there's more I could go on, even with the second minute. With the second minute of the show. I think, Robert, we should do another show where we pick this up.
Yep.
And we just follow the data from then on out. This wets everyone's whistles. Get your brains working. Pack them and smoke them. Think about them. And the least, you will be entertained like no other show has been able to ever entertain you before. And this has been being suppressed and prevented for many years, since 2006, when I brought it out after sitting on it for 3 years. Remember, I was a part of Hoagland's Enterprise mission, part of my show. I was like, I said to him, being sent from Robin and Hoagland himself and others being jealous little bitches, because how could he have you? Well, I don't know. There's something to that question. I'm not going to say they're invalid for asking it. I mean, come on, I know who I am, but yet do I? Because I was to unfold something that was scripted years ago. Yeah. It's meant to come to me and knew who I was as it was scripted all those years ago, knowing who would be bringing this forth, and Robert and others in the second line after this scene, it answers and validates and vindicates my theory of what? Artistically sculpted entire planetary surface. What are the odds?
Wow.
Astronomical.
Literally, yes.
And that show, Robert, hopefully if you're still interested and want to follow up with.
Yeah, absolutely.
We could, well, I know how this sounds, and I know how I sound. And you haven't heard nothing, because when the personally affected Mad Martian comes out dealing with this crap, get ready, but please don't hang up. Right. All I'm saying, it's affected me, and it would anyone else.
Of course.
You know, you people have no clue what was done to me and my family.
Hold on. You're giving away information, Gary.
This video of what I at least proven in the least. If you don't want to believe me about anything else, disprove me about that opening line. There's a coded message. It's a map. It's a mathematical problem being given also an artifact of alien intelligence.
Wow.
You ain't supposed to say that, Gary. That's round two. Round two.
That's the spark there. Well, yeah, exactly. I'm not supposed to say that because
you're giving them too much, Gary.
Someone hopes that I did not see it and would not, and then would choose not to deliver it.
Wow.
And I chose to do what he taught me. Investigate, no matter where it leads or to whom it leads to. If anything, he taught me that. Then out of all these others, so-called friends, associates, everyone else that decide to side on the fence of non-disclosure, just come out with something being connected to them to benefit themselves financially or for their own name, and not follow what their true selves in this work should be leading them, which is to ask some 5 simple effing questions.
Oh, hold on.
Wow.
To be answered. And you're scolded and destroyed for trying to do something that, hey, he even encouraged me to investigate. And when we do the next show, I'll show you proof of his encouragement, his exact words of encouragement, and the things he said, and lies and deceptions. And all the more that's going to blow you away is who provided these images.
Yeah. Wow.
Now,
Okay.
I'll leave on that note, but Robert, let me just show the images that I had found from that video real quick, okay?
Yep.
And that's what, this is not the only image, okay, people? It's not. All right, let me get to it here. Please forgive me. I just had it up. Where the hell is it? It was up here.
And this is why they call him the Mad Martian. Ladies and gentlemen, this is why they call him the Mad Martian.
Or, anyway, hold on. Faces of, yeah, that's it. Like I would forget.
Oh, shoot.
Right, on the page.
You think he's mad, Sarah?
All right, remember, the screamer face on the facesofmars.com?
Yeah.
It's just under there when you all scroll down on the facesofmars.com, under the screamer face, boom, press play to watch UFO Diaries Cydonia. In fact, since it's only a minute, can I play that opening minute real quick, Robert?
Yeah, sure. It's a little fuzzy, but go ahead.
I'm sorry. Hold on.
He'll blow it up.
Oh. Yeah, but anyway, it's good enough.
The fourth world, counting out from the sun. Barren, perpetually cold, and with a thin atmosphere of poisonous gas. Surely no intelligent life could survive there. Planet Mars is next to our own. The fourth world, counting out from the sun. Barren, perpetually cold, and with a thin atmosphere of poisonous gas. Surely no intelligent life could survive there.
Huh. Wow.
All right, you see what I'm saying? Am I crazy? Or am I reading too deep into this? Well, it seems like that was my job to do. And everyone else, was when he asked that question, surely no intelligent life can survive there? Yeah, he was asking me. But he's not just asking me, you Nazis. Guess who he's asking? You.
Hmm.
All right, so the full 22-minute video's there. Here's what I was able to grab. Here's the whole room.
Oh, wow.
Damn it. You know I'm on the damn show, but you're going to call me. Give me a break. Here's the, and you've seen the other part of that room that the guy was standing in front of.
Yeah.
So you can see where he says, with a thin atmosphere of poisonous gas, he stands right in front of this. Right? All right, so am I crazy? And in the least, I matched up everything. Now it's up to someone to disprove it, because I went through the burden to show the proof of it.
Yes.
Right? You cannot discount it. And Robert, you hit the nail on the head with those words you said. Hopefully you remember them. All right, so there it is again, those two things in the script. All right, now here, later on.
Don't give it. Don't you give it, Gary.
Save
a few
aces up your sleeve.
Save it, Gary. Save it.
All right, now.
He's getting ready to go for 4 hours. Gary, give him.
Hold on. This is for another show, obviously, but when he does this.
Yeah, he points at it.
Points to this. Now, remember, I had to put all these scenes together. The camera's moving.
Yeah.
So he's all the way over here near the podium when he points to this, and he's saying something, too, that's also a riddle. I won't say it now.
Yeah.
Now it's in. There's your close-up.
Oh, wow.
Now, here's the face of Cydonia from the 35A72.
Yeah.
Actually, it might be a different one, but still casting a shadow that was not in the NASA Public Archives, because I processed them all. It ain't there. But anyway,
we know hang on, Gary. Were you able to locate where this other one is, the brother?
God, Robert, I love you, man.
Oh my God.
I love you. You're a brother, bro. You are a brother, and you're spot on. Holy crap. Yes, my hopes are strong for you. So, all right. So you can clearly see, not only is it different features, it's not the same face. They look similar, but they're not the same, which means what? Why would they keep throwing an example of the one we know? Like, how far are they trying to go out to point this out to us in a way that's unofficial until it becomes official, giving you yet another riddle me this, riddle me that, bat crazy scenario you have to solve, which I did.
Yeah, you did.
Notice also who's looking at who here.
Oh, yeah. Oh, wow. Yeah, right.
It's right in your face.
Yeah.
Ah,
Jeez.
here's another.
What?
Ah, what? Now that was really different than both of them, isn't it?
Yeah.
Crap. Look at the water.
I definitely got to watch that video and do some screen captures too.
Now, mind you, as you watch that video, it was put forth in 1993.
Wow.
And you know how documentaries back were then, they always had the dominating with the debunker tones.
Right, of course.
Guys, there was not one shred of debunking overtone. This was completely scripted, pun intended, based on the then research of the work being done by who?
Richard Hoagland.
My name is Richard C. Hoagland.
Yes, of course.
So,
okay, we'll have to get deeper into that, Gary, as much as you want to reveal.
Well,
What? You there?
Yeah, I'm here. Do you see the screen?
Yes.
Okay. I just wanted to show these images as to wet everyone's whistles.
Hold on. Maybe we should end on the statement.
What we have yet to talk about, of what we have yet to go down the rabbit hole with.
And why is she having a book with the Sphinx going down and a side picture? Oh, we're going to leave it alone next week. Next week, guys.
Yeah. Let's come back to this.
I'll leave this much because this ties in because of the Sphinxes, right?
Yes.
Notice what's next to it.
Yeah.
Notice it ain't looking at it. It's looking at her.
Oh, right.
And I knew that question. I proposed that question that was so simplified to ask. In that understanding. Who is this? Wait to find out for a future episode to get the most amazing, bizarre, crazy answer.
Gary, please go take care of your dogs. And thank you so much for being on with us today. We're definitely going to continue this conversation. It's absolutely fascinating. And it's just time. It's really time, for all of this to come out.
Bam! I'm glad you're saying that again, Robert. I'm having high hopes because I cannot tell you what to say. I could give you advice on some questions once you're in that certain mindset. I cannot tell you how to address or what to do, but you're a smart guy. Look how much you're picking up on. I got so much hope for you, brother. And like you said, we're in a time now where we must be told. But will that one who is not telling be compelled?
We'll see. We'll see.
Until next time, thank you, Robert.
Yeah, thank you.
I know I'm a different type of beast, but so is this. And it's going to, I'm telling you, brother, this is going to change everything, especially if you're able to help us out to get the answers that we deserve. And believe it or not, even validation and vindication to that Dick Hoagland himself for his secret, private work that he's officially not allowed to acknowledge.
Wow.
But we got him, and I've got him unofficially explaining it. It had to be made to be safe to be seen for it to officially be able for him to come out and acknowledge it. That much I'm still waiting on and needing to happen as a scientist looking at this, following the scientific model and doing all this crazy crap all these years while fighting him on the surface while it's the guy inside who's got to be saved.
Well,
And that validates He'll get a Nobel Prize for this or something if I'm right. Compared to the guy who he is on the surface, remember, he's officialed up the butt. He can't acknowledge the ruins are there. Wink, wink. What we're seeing is a ruin of an ancient solar system scale model. That's the solar system scale model that's being presented us and hinted us down through time by him. That needs to be seen and figured out, but he'll never admit it unless and until he is compelled and is safe to make it official. And
Understood.
everyone will be blown away. And that's his prediction.
Okay.
Crazy.
Yeah. No.
All right, Robert, thanks a lot. Hopefully you're not turned off and we do this again real soon.
Yes.
I really want to. And we got to get you on the Martian Revelation also to talk about your work and stuff. I appreciate your work, and oh God, you got me fired up with hope. Thank you, Robert. And everyone else out there, the Martian Revelation is upon you all now, Saturday nights, midnight to God knows when Eastern time. And it is what it is. And tune on in. And because why? We must make our fate, and I need 2% of you. Good night.
Good night, Gary. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Wow. Daryl, that was an amazing guest you set up there. I mean, I've only talked to Gary, I think, one time before. I was on his show, and I didn't really fully understand everything he had to offer, all the research that he's done, and the implications thereof. So thank you for that. We did run a little bit late, and getting near dinner time around here. So
all right.
People are asking me, what's for dinner?
What's for dinner?
Fish tacos. It's Wednesday.
Hey, I want to hop into that. Never mind. Robert, all I can say is I love it. And, man, I was the one that brought them back into radio. They had them cornered. They had them out. And I'm going to say this. You have reawakened the Mad Martian.
The Mad Martian. Yeah, I could tell. I could tell, man. That's crazy. But it's good. It's all good, man. I'm glad we could help each other out in whatever capacity. So, again, you have been listening to, or I should say that concludes, I haven't done this for a while, folks. That concludes
you don't even want your
report.
music.
I hope you enjoyed yourself as much as I did, although I'm not sure that's possible. So it's always a privilege and a pleasure. Could you play the outro, please?
Yes, I will, Robert.
So I know that we're actually ending this program. Wow, that was a wild one, and yes, we're for sure going to have Gary back to talk about all this. This topic has got to be fully exposed and reported to the public, and yeah, it's a massive amount of material, and if you think it doesn't affect you, you're wrong. This should be public knowledge. Should have been a long time ago, but anyway. It's always a privilege and a pleasure to be with you. And until next time, may the Force be with
Wow, what a show. That's all I can say. What a show. And